What is poppin', friends? One season wonder here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to go over the replay of the season 4 SSBL Week 1 battle against Polite Dino. I of course won the season last time, and yeah, I got the first game of this season, so I got to kick it off against Polite Dino. I'll be going over our matchup, the replay, and my team. So there we go. The matchup, as you can see, he has a Mega Zam, Frostlass, Lando T, Rotom Heat, Heracross, Tapu Fini, Venusaur, Umbreon, Komala, Registeel, and Dragalge. Since this is my first video for this season, I'll be going over my draft as well. I won't be doing a draft analysis because there really didn't go any thought into the draft. So yeah, I'll just skip that for now. So Tapu Koko, Victini, Shaman, Hexorus, Gliscor, Passimian, Blastoise, Mega, Honchkrow, the mascot, Weezing, Licky Licky, and Bronzong for my draft. So going into this matchup, something that was right away a problem is I don't switch into Fini with anything really. So Shaman is probably the best thing I have, but Shaman does really poorly against the rest of his draft, so I didn't really want to bring that. Also Mega Zam, I used it last season to some success. George would say no success, but he didn't win, so there you go. Yeah, Zam is a problem. So I needed to bring something that either outsped it or walled it. I ended up bringing something that walled it and something that outsped it just for safety. So yeah, he also has a bunch of pretty passive mons like Umbreon and Registeel. So in building, I wanted to really exploit that and bring some setup for that reason. So going into my actual team, as you can see, I brought some nice setup spam. I brought the SD Gliscor with Earthquake and Facade. That pretty much sweeps his team. It really does. Um, then I have my Ronzong, which is Spit F, pretty much. It takes two Shadow Balls from Mega Zam, so that is nice. It's pretty much for rocks only. If I get a rocks up, I'm pretty much happy. I've got HP Ice if Team Lando is in front of me and I can just hit it. Earthquake for Dragalge. Dragalge was also pretty free against my draft, honestly. He could pretty much just spam buttons against me and I couldn't really do anything. So Spadef, Bronzong helped with that. And then just Gyro Ball for general damage, I guess. So next one is Hexorus, Choice Scarf to outspeed the Mega Zam. Earthquake for the Rotom Heat. Dragon Claw just spammable. Poison Jab for Fini. Superpower for I think it was Umbreon. Yeah, and Registeel as well. So next up Coco. Shuka Berry so I can live a hit from Lando and then just hit it back with Ice, HP Ice. U-turn for general momentum, just switching around a little. Roost, so I can actually roost on his more passive stuff. And T-Bolt for a Fini, so I can hit that as well. So then we have Victini, which is Electrium Z to bob the Tapu Fini. That was pretty much necessary because I don't really deal with it that well. And then I just have V-Create to hit pretty much whatever. It's a really strong move, so it works for everything. Zen Headbutt for Dragalge and the Venusaur, and then Glaciate to catch Lando. If I ever have to predict him to come in or whatever, I can click Glaciate. And then the Heat set of the week, I guess, courtesy of Alcoholic George. Thank you for the idea. Yeah, this is Adrenaline Orb Defiant Passimian with Bulk Up. The idea is to start spamming setup in the face of his Umbreon or his Registeel, because they can't really hit me, and I can just pretty much set up for free. And once I hit a pretty substantial amount of attack and defense. If he switches in Lando, I get the Adrenaline Orb proc, which raises my speed, and then the Defiant procs as well, which gives me +1 speed after the Intimidate. Or the, no, it gives attack, I think. Yeah, it gives +1 attack after the Intimidate, so Passimian was pretty much meant to sweep. It could also break, but the main idea was pretty much sweeping with it. So let's go into the replay. So on matchup, I noticed there was no passive stuff on his team. So that was worrying because I pretty much relied a lot on having the ability and the opportunity to set up on his more passive mons. So given that he pretty much brought a really offensive team, I had to out offense his offense, and that was pretty tough. So I noticed that the rocks are good. So leading Bronzong is probably the best thing I can do. I think he leads with the Venusaur, which is fine. I can get rocks up. He clicks light screen, which doesn't really matter. I can go Victini afterwards and kill it. But I make a really dumb play and I go into my Gliscor, and I don't really know why I do this. He lead seats me, which is fine, that doesn't really matter, and then I click Roost on, I think it was 88 HP, which is questionable. And he then gets a shitload of damage with a Giga Drain, and I'm at 19, 32 after the heal. So I have to pretty much switch into Victini because I can't sustain that Giga Drain damage when I keep clicking Roost, so that doesn't really help me. Victini's pretty safe. He hasn't really shown anything that can threaten my Victini, so that was fine. Um, he then switches into Lando. I click Zen Headbutt, just it doesn't really matter here. I thought maybe Tapu Fini comes in here, maybe the Rotom comes in here. So yeah, Lando comes in, and then I think he just knocks me. Yeah, he knocks me. The crit doesn't really matter. I think it was a 2-hit regardless. So yeah, just he kills me here. So bye bye Zong. Zong did his job, so it's fine. So I get in Coco. I'm thinking he is scarfed. If he's not scarfed and he earthquakes me here, then I have Shuka, and that's fine. If he's Yachi, then I pop it. He switches into Venusaur. I just HP Ice, no reason to predict, and I can get out of there with U-turn. So then I get him Victini again. Um, he is Poisonium Z, which I did not expect. Not on this set, which was pretty stally. It's more of a utility set. And then he he pops off the acid downpour. So I live it, and I can kill it with V create. So that's gone. Then Lando comes back in. Now my Lando switch in is dead, and my Gliscor is at 32. So my Lando switch ins are not good at all. So unluckily I have to sack my Victini here. He then brings in Zam. This is also a massive threat. I didn't really calc before, and I noticed that I can't kill Zam with my Hexorus. Dragon Claw's like a roll. I think it's 80 to something in the 90s, so it's really bad at this point. Luckily, he switches, so that gives me some damage on Lando and more of an opportunity later to maybe get some chip on the Alakazam first because that's really necessary. So Lando comes in, I go Coco. If he earthquakes, then Ashuka's still active, so that's good. But he raw outrages. So I'm thinking he's locked in, so I can get in my Gliscor here. He's not staying in, I think. Um, and that's true. He goes Rotom, so I can finally get my Gliscor back in the game. This is really nice for me. I roost on his Reflect, which I thought was a really weird play, but I'll take it. I can finally set up my Gliscor now, so that's what I do. Just click SD. And now I think Fini comes in. Yeah. So I just facade for some damage. Fini takes like 30, about 24. And here I'm not really sure what I was thinking, but I think it's checking speed on Fini. Doesn't really make sense when I'm at max HP, but whatever. So I know that I'm faster now, so that's nice. Skull does a pretty hefty amount of damage, but I can roost it off. So as long as Reflect is up, I don't really have to do anything. I can just kind of stall it out for a while. He then taunts me, so I can't roost stall anymore. Luckily, Reflect wears off, so now I can just Earthquake, bring him in range of any hit I can do. So this crit actually is kind of annoying, and I'll show you why. So I'm at 13 now, 25 after the heal. I kill him. I'm at like 37, 38 after another heal, and then this guy comes in. Now, if I didn't get crit, I would be at like 70 to 80, I think, and then his psychic does not knock me out, I'm pretty sure. So that's unfortunate. I lose a mon now. Now, because it's still a roll for Hexorus, I have to go into my Tapu Koko first. Coco lives any hit he can throw at me, and I can just U-turn out and then go into my Hexorus. So he clicked HP Poison, which I thought was weird. Not really sure why he would ever run HP Poison. I'm pretty sure Psychic did more, but I'll take it. So U-turn into my Hexorus, and from this point I can spam Dragon Claw. So Zem goes down. No, not Heracross. That's his name. Comes in. I don't really switch into this. I don't really want to switch into this either. So I just figured damage. Let's get damage on it. He knocks my Scarf. At this point, that's fine. I don't really need to outspeed anything anymore. I outspeed the Rotom anyway. So yeah, I just kill it with another Dragon Claw. And then Jorge's favorite, Mold Breaker Earthquake, comes in, smashes it. Only Lando remains. I just sack my Hexorus because there's no point in keeping it alive. Passimian then just tanks a hit and knocks it out with double edge. So that was week 1. GG to Polite Dino. Um, More content coming next week, of course. I'm not going to do a draft analysis. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.